If you're hanging around certain types of people, you're probably one of them. It doesn't mean that you can always escape these people all the time. That's just not possible. I'm just saying that you want to be cognizant of the need to limit the amount of time that you spend around these types of people because they will become distractions in your life. Hello, I hope that you are ready for the new year because it is coming around pretty quickly here. And as such, I'm really in this mode right now of offering you guys some pointers on what you can do this coming year to level yourself up and get yourself in a better place in your life. Now, last time I talked about 10 reasons why it would be an absolutely brilliant idea for you to get yourself in better shape this coming year. And this time, I'm going to talk to you about relationships. The reason why is because relationships can be one of or some of the biggest distractions in your life if you are not aware of what's going on and you don't protect yourself. So, I am Mark Johnson. I am the founder of Bounce Pep, bringing you ideas for a fit and flourishing future. And I am the youngest son of Bill Johnson. So I want to thank you for being a subscriber. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. I encourage you to, and I also encourage you to go ahead and like what you are seeing and hearing. Let's get down to it. Look, we all have a circle. Some of us have large circles, some of us have smaller circles. Me personally, I do not keep a large circle. I'm very selective about the people that I allow in my life close to me, and that's just the way it is. Now, other people are more comfortable letting all kinds of people into their life, and if it works for them, fine. But generally speaking, I don't recommend that kind of thing. I think that it's wiser to be careful about the types of people that you allow yourself to be around and allow in your space. Just in general, I think in the long term, that's actually the wiser approach to relationships. With that said, I want you to always remember that one of the prime distractions in your life can be a relationship. And there are different types of people who have different types of quirks, which can end up being a distraction in your life. Okay. So distractions are not only things like, wasting time on video games or watching TV for 4 hours every day. So, those aren't the only distractions. Or fiddling around with a smartphone. All the, there are a lot of distractions, gambling and all. There are plenty of them. But one of the biggest ones that people often don't think about is the relationships that they have with other people. Let me tell you something. If you're hanging around certain types of people, you're probably one of them. Okay. Now, that may be a hard truth for you to accept, but it is the truth. If you're regularly hanging around a certain ilk of people, then more likely than not, you are of the same cloth. You're cut from the same cloth as them. Okay. And that's just the way it is. So I want you to think more purposefully and more strategically about your relationships in this coming year because they can be distracting. They can take you off your ball. Bad, like unproductive relationships can really get you bogged down and really hold you back in life more than you may realize. So, I'm going to talk about 5 kinds of people that you really want to limit the amount of time around. And you really want to limit how much you allow them into your space. Now, it doesn't mean that you can always escape these people all the time. That's just not possible. I'm just saying that you want to be cognizant of the need to limit the amount of time that you spend around these types of people because they will become distractions in your life. The first one is this: blamers. Okay? Some people are going to find a reason to blame something or someone else for everything unfortunate that happens to them in their life. And it is true that life does present some situations that are just bad luck. I mean, just pure bad luck. It happens. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about blamers. I'm talking about the people that you know, the people that you have interacted with. They may even be living in the same home as you. And no matter what it is, no matter what the failure, no matter what the shortcoming, it's always the fault of something or someone else. But the common denominator is actually them in all of these situations, right? It's them. You look at the common denominator in every situation, it's that person. But they're always blaming someone else or something else for what's going wrong. You have to pull yourself away from this type of person because they can't bring any positive energy to your life when all they're doing is blaming everything and everybody else for everything that goes wrong. Okay? They can't bring any positive energy to your life. And so being around them is going to basically either bring you down because you're just listening to all this complaining, or it's actually going to put you into the same mindset as they're in. It's actually going to start to rub off on you, and you don't want that. Okay, number two, whiners. Now, blamers and whiners are kind of related, but whiners are a little bit different. Whiners are just people, let's just say that they are never satisfied, for instance. Uh, I know someone who is like this. No matter how good the situation, how nice the situation, there's always something wrong with it. There's always a reason to complain. And this type of person, again, can't bring positive energy to your life because all they're going to do is get you into a negative mindset. You're either going to start complaining and whining just like them, or you're going to be turned off by them and just be in a generally bad mood because of it. So you want to get yourself out of the space of these people. Whiners, i.e., complainers, cannot bring any positive, productive energy to your life. Now, let's go to number three, gossipers. Look, I'm on YouTube. There are a lot of other people creating content, putting it out on YouTube, and so much of what I see is people talking about someone did this, someone said that, someone spent their money on this, or just a whole bunch of things that make no difference in your life. Absolutely no difference. And all it is gossip. So gossip is a huge distraction a lot of times because it's entertaining, and I get that. But just understand you can waste a lot of time. Gossip is a huge waste of time. And number two, you have to be more interested in what's going on in your own life than you are in what's going on in other people's lives. Like that should be more important to you. And I just find gossipers to be really on the wrong side of that ball. I just don't get it. I don't understand the allure of constantly talking about what someone else is doing, either right or wrong. I just don't get it, especially when when all it is just talking about something that somebody did wrong. Maybe they, some kind of a flub or something like that. I just don't get it. But it's not the energy that I want to surround myself with. And I recommend that you don't do so either. Okay, number four, slackers. Look, if you're hanging out with people who have nothing going on, no ambitions, no, I mean, just no aspirations, no plans, no kind of long term roadmap at all, then chances are you're pretty much like they are. Okay, so slackers are going to bring you down because they aren't doing anything and they aren't encouraging you to do anything. And with you being around them, the energy just feeds energy. People are synergistic, okay? And so with you being around a slacker or slackers, that energy is going to permeate your soul. It's going to permeate your spirit. It's going to affect your actions. And pretty soon, if it hadn't already happened, you'll be a slacker just like them. Nothing going on, no goals, no fire, okay? No hunger, no aspiration. So don't spend your time around slackers, okay? Now, number 5, this is the final one that I have today. Naysayers. Naysayers. Now, look, there are always at least two sides to every, well, technically speaking, a coin only has two sides. Okay. Basically, what I want to say is every situation, every opportunity has at least two sides. And there's always going to be a positive and a negative, or several factors that you have to weigh, several things that you have to consider when deciding if something is a good idea, worthwhile pursuing, or if it's not. Okay. But the problem with naysayers is they've always got a reason to say no. They've always got a reason to say it's bad. You shouldn't do that. It's too risky. It can't work. You can't draw any positive, productive energy from people like that. Now, I will say this. I'm wise enough to know that it is beneficial to hear the ideas of naysayers sometimes because they actually can alert you to pitfalls. But what I'm saying is, I want you to be careful about spending too much time around naysayers to the point where they're stealing your thunder and they're stealing other people's thunder and they're raining on your parade. And every time you feel like you want to do something that can change your life, that can be a breakthrough for you, you've got this naysayer telling you all the reasons why it can't work and why it's a terrible idea and why failure is inevitable. Like, I understand they may have some valid points, but ultimately it's your life. And if you're listening too much to naysayers and you're valuing their opinion too highly, you will forego opportunities that are right there in front of you, just right there for the taking. And you're doing it because you're listening to this person telling you that nothing can be done. So this coming year, I want you to be aware of the naysayers around you. And I want you to limit your exposure to them. If they have a valid point, take it into consideration. But don't let them blow it all out of proportion and convince you that the world is going to end and nothing is possible, because that's how they feel. And that's their pessimistic negative view on things. Don't let them convince you. You have to weigh everything and come to your own conclusion. Okay? Sometimes you might arrive at the same conclusion as the naysayers. But what I'm asking you to do is think of the good and the bad. And don't let the naysayers make you quit, make you give up before you even try anything, before you even think anything through. Okay? So that is those are my pointers for you this coming year, okay? When it comes to your relationships, you want to limit your exposure to blamers, whiners, gossipers, slackers, and naysayers, okay? And I think that in this coming year, if you can do that, you're going to have a better mindset that's going to help you to build on what you've been building on all this time. I know that you're a builder. I know that you're someone who wants to get ahead. And I believe that you're making progress on something. But I don't want you to let these five types of people slow you down and be in kind of a, what do you call it, like a chain around your ankles. So with that said, I want you to take this with you this upcoming year. All right. Make sure that you maintain positive, healthy relationships with those types of people, with people who are positive, with people who are forward thinking, okay? With people who are thoughtful, have good judgment, with people who can recognize opportunities. I want you to put yourself in the company of those kinds of people. And remember, relationships can be some of your biggest distractions. Okay? Relationships can be huge distractions, so don't let them. With that said, take that with you. Talk to you next time.